This is my story of how I went from nothing to being an industry-leading personal trainer. So when I finished my master's degree in sport and health sciences, I then did my PT qualification straight away. I was doing it online during COVID, so it took me about 6 months to actually finish it. Once I got that done, I immediately applied for a gym. I got the job, luckily. However, the first gym did not work out very well. I was there for 2.5 months, had zero clients the whole time. And in the end, I decided to just leave that job because I wasn't making any money. And although they give me discount on the first 3 months of rent, that was now coming to an end. And I decided that I maybe needed to take a little break from it. Just 2.5 months in. I then applied to a retail job in the meantime, just so that I could pay the bills. To be honest, my first experience as a PT was not as good as I hoped it would be. And I did seriously think about just stopping entirely. However, I then decided to just apply for one more gym. There's another gym in the area to me where I was working at the time. I got the job and actually went okay. I was sort of just about breaking even, maybe making a little bit of money. I was fortunate that the manager there was really great and was giving me like a lower rent because he knew I was a new PT. And got my first set of clients. They all did really well, had good results, good testimonials. And from there, although it was going well, I was in quite a small town. So I decided to move to a city. I then had a lot of success at that gym. I was there for a year. And this was the first time where I was making serious money as a PT. And I realized that this is something that actually could work for me. And I could actually make this a career as long as I don't burn myself out. Although it was going really well, I ultimately decided that I wanted to move to London. So I was able to get a transfer to another club within the same company in London. Now, it's always a risk when you leave to another gym because all the clients that you built up at that gym, especially if you're traveling a long way, they're not going to go with you. So it's always a risk when you move. However, I felt like it was the right decision for me at that time. And I know I would have regretted it if I never did it. Within a few months, I quickly built up my client base. And within a year and a half, I was top of the company, doing really well, making really good money, and doing that consistently month after month. To think that I'd gone from questioning whether I was even good enough to be a PT to achieving everything I achieved was great. Ultimately, after 2 years of that company, I decided to go self-employed. And since then, things have got even better. You'll find that at most gyms, there is a ceiling at which you can reach. And once you reach that ceiling, you can either decide to stay at that ceiling, depending on how high that is for you, or you might decide to move away from PT and just go for more of a corporate role within that company, or you decide to go self-employed and keep a lot more of the income that your clients are paying you. Now, I decided to do that. And obviously, there's a lot more instability and not getting holiday pay anymore. But overall, it was a great decision for me. And now things are going really well. So would I recommend PT as a career? Yes, because you have a lot of flexibility. You work with clients you want to work with. You can charge however much you want to work. It's incredibly rewarding seeing how you can change people's lives. It's a very flexible job. Although you can end up working long hours initially, over time, if you want to, you can definitely shrink your schedule to fit your lifestyle. I ended up actually working 4 long days a week in my previous job and then having 3 day weekends, which was great. So although it can feel like quite a lot at the start, if you stick with it, if you work hard at it, it's definitely a career you can achieve quite a lot with. I know this happens to a lot of people, but if you're also in that same position where your first PT job didn't work out, but you still want to give it another go, just give it one more go. And if it doesn't work, then maybe it's not for you. But it's always worth giving it another try because if I hadn't have done that, then I don't know where I'd be right now, what I'd be working, and how happy I would be, to be honest. Because right now, I love what I do and I feel very lucky to be doing what I do. So that's my story as a PT so far. Follow me if you want to see how my journey progresses, and I will speak to you all soon.